Your partner is loyal, but emotionally distant. Why? Have you ever found yourself lying next to someone who loves you? Someone who has never cheated. Someone who shows up, stays committed, and does everything that looks right on the surface. And yet, you still feel completely alone? Not lonely because they're absent, but lonely because they're emotionally unreachable. That quiet kind of loneliness is the hardest to explain, and even harder to live with. My name is Maya, and in today's video we are going to talk about something many people experience, but rarely understand clearly. What it truly means when your partner is loyal, but emotionally distant, and why this happens. This is not about blaming your partner, and it's not about judging yourself. It's about understanding what's really going on beneath the surface, so you can stop questioning your worth. Let me ask you something honestly. Does your partner stay with you, but rarely open up? Do they listen when you speak, but you don't feel emotionally felt? Do your conversations stay practical and routine, while your emotional needs quietly remain unmet? They come home. They stay faithful. They're physically present, but emotionally, it feels like there's a wall between you. And that confusion can slowly drive you inward. Because we are taught that loyalty is everything. If they don't cheat, you're lucky. If they stay, be grateful. But no one talks about how painful it is to be with someone who stays, yet never truly connects. Here's a truth that changes everything. Loyalty and emotional availability are not the same thing. A person can be deeply loyal and still emotionally distant. And when you don't understand this, you start blaming yourself. You wonder if you're too sensitive, if you're asking for too much, if something is wrong with you. But the truth is, something is missing and it's invisible. Emotional distance rarely looks dramatic. It doesn't look like shouting. It doesn't look like constant fighting. Sometimes it looks like calm silence, like routines that never change, like conversations that never go deep. Your partner answers your questions, but doesn't ask meaningful ones. They offer solutions, but not emotional presence. They try to fix your feelings, instead of sitting with them. And slowly, you stop sharing parts of yourself. Not because you want to, but because it feels unsafe or pointless. One of the most common reasons this happens is emotional conditioning. Many people grow up in homes where emotions are ignored, minimized, or punished. Crying was weakness. Talking about feelings was uncomfortable. Vulnerability felt dangerous. So they learn to survive by shutting down emotionally. As adults, they don't lack love. They lack emotional language. They care deeply, but don't know how to express it. They stay committed, but don't know how to connect. Another powerful reason is fear of vulnerability. To open up emotionally is to risk being rejected, to be seen fully, to admit fear, insecurity, and pain. For someone who has been hurt before, emotional distance feels safer than closeness. So they choose loyalty without intimacy, stability without depth, commitment without emotional risk. From the outside, the relationship looks fine. From the inside, it feels empty. There is also emotional burnout. Some partners are overwhelmed by work pressure, financial stress, family responsibilities, or unresolved trauma. They're not distant because they don't love you. They're distant because they're emotionally exhausted. When someone lives in constant survival mode, emotions feel like a burden they can't carry. So they shut down, not consciously, but instinctively. And here is something important you need to hear. Emotional distance is often not about you, but the pain still lands on you. You begin to feel unseen, unheard, unimportant. Small things start to hurt more than they should. A distracted reply, a lack of reassurance, a missed emotional cue. And you keep asking yourself, if they love me, why do I feel so alone? At first, the signs are subtle. You hesitate before sharing something personal. You rehearse your words in your head. You soften your emotions so you don't overwhelm them. That hesitation is not love. It's self-protection. One of the clearest signs of emotional distance is lack of emotional curiosity. Your partner knows what you do. They know your schedule. They know your responsibilities. But they rarely ask how you are feeling inside. And when you open up, their response feels incomplete. They say the right words, but there's no warmth behind them. No follow-up. No presence. Just emotional closure as if feelings are problems to be solved. Another sign is emotional avoidance during conflict. Not shouting. Not anger. Avoidance. They change the topic. They shut down. They go quiet. They say things like, let's not make this a big deal. But it is a big deal because your emotions are involved. Unspoken feelings don't disappear. They settle inside you. And over time, resentment grows. Not because of what they did wrong, but because of what they never gave. There is also a deeply painful realization many people avoid admitting. You feel more emotionally understood by strangers than by your own partner. A friend listens better. A random conversation feels warmer. Even silence with someone else feels less lonely. That is emotional isolation. And emotional isolation inside a relationship is more painful than being alone. Now here is where honesty becomes necessary. Emotional distance may not be intentional, but its impact is real. Your partner may genuinely believe they are being a good partner because they are loyal, responsible, and consistent. But emotional needs don't disappear just because they are inconvenient. They either get met, or they get buried. And buried emotions always resurface. As sadness, as numbness, as anxiety, as a constant feeling that something is missing. At some point, a difficult question arises. Can you continue loving someone who cannot meet you emotionally without losing yourself? This isn't about threats or ultimatums. It's about truth. Because staying emotionally hungry for years can quietly destroy your self-worth. You begin to believe that emotional intimacy is optional, that your needs are excessive, that love should be distant and restrained. But that belief is learned, not real. Healthy love feels emotionally safe. It feels responsive. It feels warm. Not perfect. Not dramatic. But present. Clarity begins with self-awareness. What do you actually need emotionally? Reassurance? Deeper conversations? Empathy? Presence? If you can't name your needs, no one else can meet them. Communication matters, but how you communicate matters even more. Not with blame. Not with accusation. But with honesty. I feel disconnected, and I miss feeling close to you. I don't need solutions, I need emotional presence. If your partner is capable of emotional growth, this opens a door. If they consistently dismiss it, minimize it, or avoid it, that is also an answer. And then comes self-respect. Love does not require self-abandonment. You can understand someone's wounds without offering yourself as the place they continue to bleed. You can love deeply and still choose emotional health. And sometimes, the hardest realization is this. A loyal partner who cannot meet you emotionally may still not be the right partner for your inner world. That doesn't make them bad. And it doesn't make you ungrateful. It makes you honest. You deserve a love where your emotions are welcomed, not managed. Where your feelings are held, not tolerated. Where loyalty is paired with emotional presence. Because love that stays silent when your heart is speaking will eventually teach your heart to stay silent too. And you were never meant to love like that.